Shawty bays, as you can tell by the attire, I am wearing my Grinch pantaloons. Here they are. I'm also wearing Christmas socks. And I'm also wearing my favorite, Xmas. Therefore, we're going to be talking about holiday romances. Hello, Shawty bays. Hello, besties. Welcome. Just welcome. I don't really know where I was going with that. Welcome to Larissa. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm allergic to the sun. Does he have your number? 1-800-BIATCH. When my eyes are closed, I see you for what you truly are, which is ugly. We're done. New school, new babe pool. What I was trying to say is, hello, I have been binging holiday romances this entire month so far. I wanted to dig through all of them and see which ones are actually good. Here are some books that I really enjoyed this holiday season. I'm going to be recommending them to you. Falalalalalala. I'm going to start off with one of my personal favorites, which is Lovelight Farms by BK Borison. This is so cute. It is part of a series. It's the first book in the series. I do not think the other two are holiday romances, so I have not read them yet, but it's all part of the same universe. It's like interconnected standalones, but this one's the first one. This follows Stella and Luca, and it is only from Stella's POV. And basically she owns and works in a Christmas farm kind of thing. In my heart is a Christmas tree farm where the people would come. What happened? I got distracted by Taylor Swift. Oh yes, she works at like a Christmas farm and she owns it. And currently the farm is not doing that well. She needs help. She needs some money. And she runs into this contest kind of thing that this influencer is doing where she will come to the place that you own and do a blog post about it. And you win like this grand prize money if yours is the best and all of that. So she wanted to create kind of a romantic story to go along with her farm because she knew that the influencer would kind of want that more. Instead of just like her owning the farm, she decided to say that she owns it with her boyfriend who she's in love with. However, she doesn't have a boyfriend. She just wanted to make this whole thing romantic, right? Enter Luca, her best friend of many years, who says he'll help her and fake date her so that she can get this money for the farm. So you've got friends to lovers. You've got It's Always Been You. You've got a little bit of boy obsessed. You've got He Falls First. You have small town, very much holiday vibes. And then you meet characters that also work in this farm that you fall in love with, and they have the other books. Amazing. I would highly recommend if you want a cozy and comfy holiday read. This one's the one for you. Now, this one is a completely different vibe from that, and that is 'Tis the Season for Revenge by Morgan Elizabeth. Also one of my favorites this holiday season. This one is basically a Legally Blonde retelling type of vibe. It's not a retelling, but it is. Like, you feel it in your core that this was based on Legally Blonde because it follows Abby and Damien. It's dual POV. And Abby basically is this icon living. She loves pink. She is very glittery and fun and a very out there person. But then she starts to shrink herself to be what her boyfriend wants her to be. This piece of shit guy. And he breaks up with her on Halloween. And she's super excited to be out with him and meet his coworkers. And he literally just leaves her. Anyway, to get back at him, she decides she's gonna fuck his boss. Like I said, icon living. Enter Damien, said boss. I love this book. It is very spicy. If you're looking for a spicy, fun, hilarious read with not a lot of drama, but like a lot of messiness, this is the one for you because Damon is so mature, which I think was my favorite part of the book. But obviously Abby is out for revenge. Lately, she's been dressing for revenge. It's age gap. It is Beck's boyfriend's boss. It's a little bit grumpy sunshine as well. Literally everything you could ever want and more. 'Tis the Season for Revenge. Highly recommend. Coffee break. Now I've got How the Grump Saved Christmas by Claire Kingsley. This is my very first Claire Kingsley book, but it's not going to be my last because I was highly impressed by the writing and by how much I loved this. I was really shocked. I already knew I was kind of going to like it by the cover, but every Christmas book has cute covers, right? And I feel like a lot of the times, some of them are not that great. This one's amazing. This one is amazing. It follows Elias and Isabel, and it is dual POV. And basically they met when they were kids at the small town they both live at, and they have kind of been in love ever since. They had a little childhood crush to lovers and they dated all throughout high school, I think it was. And then something happens and he leaves and they don't see each other again. And now it's many years later and he has to come back into town because his business wants to buy her farm. So he comes to tell Isabel he needs her farm and he's gonna shut it down. And she's like, what the fuck? I haven't seen you in years. You have childhood friends to lovers and then to strangers and then to enemies to lovers. It's a whole shebang. And I ate it up. I loved it. It is very grumpy sunshine because he's the biggest grump, but also a softie once you get to know him. And she's amazing. She's just so independent. She cares so much about her family. I really liked her character. I also loved all the side characters in this book. If I'm gonna be honest, I really wish all of them got books because she has 2 best friends and their story seems so interesting. And then he has an assistant in her story. I would die to see it. Like, you kind of already get to see it play out in the book, but I need them to have their own stories. So Claire Kingsley, if you're watching this, please, I'm gonna need you to make it happen. Thank you so much. But this was amazing. It is a small town romance. It had all the feels, all the holiday vibes. I feel like search up trigger warnings for this one because there's a little bit of triggering subject sometimes, but not too much. It's still very feel good. It was amazing. Amazing. Please read this one. Now I've got 2 little holiday novellas that you can read if you want something really quick and fun and holiday vibes still. I've got Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Leese and Holiday with the Players by Rebecca Genshak. This one is 2 novellas inside one. It's snowed in with the player and then sneaking around with the player, but it's put in this one paperback. So like it starts off with snowed in with the player, and then once you get to like the, oh my gosh, I opened right to the page. I'm magic. Anyway, once you get to page 107, you have sneaking around with the player. So each of them is like 100 pages, very quick novellas, very, very fun. It follows 2 twin sisters, and the first one is only from her POV, and the second one has dual POV. The first one, snowed in with the player, is brother's best friend, and they are in a cabin all together, and she gets snowed in with him. And then the second one, it's brother's rival, and that one is my favorite. I really liked the first one. It was cute and it was fluffy and fun, but nothing too special for me. What made it was the second one. The second one was so good. A lot of banter, dual POV. I loved that one. Definitely my favorite one, but I liked the novellas in general. Very, very fun, super quick because each of them are 100 pages and they count as 2 books. So if you're like trying to meet your Goodreads goal, they count as 2 books. So definitely Holiday with the Players, Rebecca Genshak. And look at this cover. It is beautiful. Mistletoe Motive, on the other hand, is also very short. I think it's like 180. Wow, 179 pages. I was almost there. I am quite literally magic. Just like magic. Middle finger to my thumb and then I snap it. Hey. This follows Gabby and Jonathan. It is only told from her POV, and basically they work in this small bookstore together. How fucking cute is that, okay? And they figure out that somebody's gonna have to get laid off because there's not enough money in this bookstore. That's not so cute. So they decide that they're going to do this bet where whoever sells the most this holiday season is going to get to keep the job and the other person will resign. So you have a little bit of competition, a little bit of enemies to lovers in a very subtle, chill way. And then you also have on the side of that, you have Pen Pal, which is where this gets interesting. So there's a little bit of everything in this one. Very, very cute. My very first Chloe Leese book, but it will definitely not be my last. This next one is Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. It follows Molly and Andrew, but it's only told from Molly's POV. What I really like about this one is not only do you get one Christmas, but you get so many different Christmases with them. Let me explain. Molly and Andrew have been friends for 10 years, okay? They're not very, very close, but they both live in Chicago, and then they're both from Dublin originally. So every Christmas, they fly from Chicago to Dublin, and they do it together, and they do that for the past 10 years, okay? So even though they don't talk every single day, that time from the flight is like their time to be together and to hang out, and they get really, really close. And so you get to see all of their Christmases. You get to see all 10 flights, which is so much fun going back and forth. And you get to see their romance kind of start from friends to lovers. And this latest flight is absolutely the best because something happens with the weather and they can't get to where they're going. So they have to take like all these different flights and find a way to get to their hometown. We get to spend Christmas with his family and with her family. You get to know both of them so well. I thought this was so, so cute. It was one of those that you just wanted to keep reading. It was so much fun, and I loved the Friends to Lovers. It was also a very believable Friends to Lovers. I'm not a big fan of planes, but I did like this flight, all of these flights. Yes. Even though the plot is my literal nightmare. Now I've got Merry Xmas by Courtney Walsh. This follows Marin and Max. It is dual POV, and they are exes. Right there in the title. Anyway, Marin hasn't been home for the holidays in 8 years, and now she comes with her TV crew to film her Christmas in her small town because it's such a crazy, chaotic, fun Christmas. There's a lot of different traditions that she wants to show her TV people because she kind of is up for a promotion and she wants to have her own little show. And she thinks that doing this segment where she shows her Christmas town can get her the upper hand. So she wants to do that. She's very excited. She shows up, she knocks on the door, and her ex-boyfriend answers. And she's like, hello? Max, what are you doing here? And then she figures out that Max will be spending Christmas with her. To give a little backstory, Max is a close friend of the family, but she wasn't expecting to see him there because they did not end things in the best of terms, but he was the love of her life. So second chance romance, exes spending holidays together, forced proximity, a little bit of enemies to lovers, very much holiday vibes, very funny, very cute. Search of trigger warnings for this one, I think. There are a little bit of deeper topics in there, so search it up just in case, but definitely thought it was a very cute, fluffy read. Nothing too special, but still very fun. This next one is fluff, fluff, fluff. And listen, I'm not the biggest fan of fluff all the time, but for some reason this book really hit for me. And that's There's Something About Mary by Cody Hall. I think this one is in third person, but you still get both POVs. I listened to this one because it's on Audible and I really like listening. That's it. I like listening. I didn't like the first book in the series. Let me be honest. Nick and Noelle's Christmas playlist or holiday playlist, whatever the fuck the name is. I did not like that book at all, but I figured I'd try the next one, especially because the cover's so cute, and I did really like this one. It follows Mary and Clark, and Mary works in her Christmas tree farm that her parents own, and so does Clark. So you have a little bit of co-workers, kind of. You also have single parent because Clark is a single dad, small town, and online dating because she starts to chat with somebody online and she's really into it. And who is that person? That person is Clark, but it's anonymous because they don't know who the other person is. Very fluffy, very cheesy, very, very cheesy, but it was such a fun listen. It was one of those that kind of just palate cleansed, if that makes sense. If you're looking for just a fun, quick listen, this would definitely be the book for you. Very, very fluffy, very cheesy. Do not expect anything less. Nothing astonishing, but I still had a good time listening to it. And it's small town and single dad, so I'm there. The last 5 I am going to be talking about are on my Kindle. I do not own the paperbacks quite yet, but worry not. I'm buying them. Did I read them on my Kindle? Yes. Will I be buying the paperbacks? Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't question me. I lied because I have this next book I'm going to talk about, but I forgot it in my house and I'm here parked at Starbucks. So clearly I can't grab it, but I literally have it from Book of the Month. I don't know why I forgot it. It just slipped my mind. So sorry, but it's Kiss Her Once for Me by Allison Cotrun. This is so fucking good. Let me just say that right now. It is a sapphic, messy ass romance. Let me explain this one, y'all. It follows Jack and Ellie. It is only told from Ellie's POV, but basically they meet one Christmas and they fall in love right away. It's like love at first sight, insta love kind of vibe, but hear me out. You know, I hate insta love, but let me explain. They meet at a bookstore, right? And they just click. They literally just click right away. But then they don't talk again. And you're like, what happened? And now it's literally a Christmas later. It's been a year and you have no idea what's going on. You're like, why the fuck didn't they talk? I thought they loved each other. What happened? And Ellie needs some help because she doesn't have enough money to survive. And this man, Andrew, who she works for, is like, hey, I'll give you money if you marry me because I'm about to get this inheritance and I can only get it if I'm married. So if you pretend to date me, if you marry me and go to my family's cabin for Christmas and talk to them and shit, I'll give you some of the money. And she's like, okay, bet, let's do it. And then she gets there. Lo and behold, his sister is Jack, the girlie that she spent last Christmas with and that she was in love with. Like I said, messy. There is so much representation in this book, y'all. I loved that. I ate that up. That was definitely the best part, in my opinion. All of the side characters were so fucking good. Like Andrew and Dylan, I need a book. I need a book. I don't know if you're planning on it, Allison, but I'm gonna need it. This was so good. The only thing that would have made this better is if I got Jack's POV as well, because Jack was one of my favorites. But regardless, it was such an amazing book. So fun, so messy. There was some spice in there as well. It had so many Taylor Swift references. Are you kidding? If you do it for anything, do it for Taylor. So the next 4 are the ones that I don't have the paperbacks to. Now I'm actually telling the truth. So these I did read on my Kindle. First one is The Holidates by Brittany Cherry. This is one of my favorites, y'all. One of my favorites. I'm gonna need the paperback immediately. The Holidates follows Holly, of course, and Kai. And Holly basically is trying to find a date for the holidays because she does not want to come home with no one because her family thinks she has a boyfriend. Why did they think that? Oh, because she told them she did. But does she? She doesn't. And Kai, on the other hand, is this very closed off, grumpy guy who wants nothing to do with relationships. And one day they're both walking into the building because they live right next to each other and they straight up bump into each other. Holly was reading a book. She was not paying attention. And Andrew was carrying a bunch of liquor for his restaurant that he owns. And he dropped all of it. So of course, he was not very happy with Holly. Holly was not very happy with him. So you have a little bit of animosity at first there. But then she walks into the restaurant that she wants to start frequenting. and he is there, the bartender and the owner, and they start to get to know each other. So it's a little bit of animosity to lovers, friends to lovers. He decides that he's going to help her on finding her holiday date, and he's going to help her on dating and teaching her his ways because he doesn't want to date anyway. So like, why can't he just help her, you know? What could go wrong there? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Kai is a genius for sure. This book was so cute. It was so funny. The side characters were amazing. Like Kai's brother is my favorite. Mono, oh my god, amazing. And Brittany Cherry usually writes very like sad romances, so I think this was her first rom-com. I loved it. Okay, I'm gonna need more rom-coms from Brittany Cherry. Search up trigger warnings because there was still some sprinkle of sadness in there, because you know, it's Brittany Cherry. She still has to do it to us, but it was incredible, diverse, amazing, 10 out of 10. So funny too. I love Holly. I love Kai. Grumpy Sunshine. Also, she's a romance writer. Please read this immediately. These last three I am currently reading, but what I've read from them thus far, I love. So I still want to share them. I just don't have too much to say about them yet, but I am loving them so far. And that's these three right here. We've got The Geek Who Saved Christmas. We've got A Very Merry Margarita Mix-Up. And then we've got Amor Actually. Basically, A Very Merry Margarita Mix-Up so far is this guy goes to kiss his best friend and he ends up kissing her twin sister instead. Mistake or fate? I don't know. I'm finding out, but I'm really enjoying it. Very steamy and very funny so far. So I think it's going to be a very good one. And The Geek Who Saved Christmas, I'm listening to this one, very good audiobook so far. And it's Paul and Gideon and it's dual POV. What's really funny about this one is their names are Gideon Holiday and Paul Frost. So cute. I really like the vibes of this one so far because they are both in their 40s. It's MM. It's a neighbor romance. It's Grumpy Sunshine. Like Gideon loves the holidays and Paul absolutely hates it. And it's incredible so far. I really enjoy. Will I enjoy it by the end? I don't know. But so far, yes. And Amor Actually, last but certainly not least, I am highly impressed with this one so far. It is an anthology. So basically all of these Latinx writers got together and they each wrote like little short stories to go inside this book. What I love about it is it's basically retelling the stories of Love Actually, but make it better. So it's like taking a party that they're all going to, all of these characters are going to a party, and it's a bunch of different stories, and all of these authors came together to write it, and it's diverse, it's fun, it's steamy, it's fluffy, just incredible so far. And you know, I love me some Latinas. Mia Sosa is Brazilian. I love you. Let me actually tell you exactly which authors are in this so that you know. We've got Adriana Herrera, we've got Alexis Daria, Diana Munoz Stewart, Mia Sosa, Priscila Oliveras, Sabrina Sol, and Zoe Castillo. So 7 different Latinx authors that came to write this anthology with 7 different stories, reimagining Love Actually. So far, I absolutely love this. It might be one of my favorites. So I really wanted to share these 3, even though I'm currently reading them. And yes, I read several books at the same time. Mind your business. Anyway, Shawty Baes, I hope you enjoyed this video. These are some of my favorite holiday romance books so far. Let me know if you end up reading any of these for the holidays, if you end up reading any of these on Christmas morning or on Christmas Eve or before then or after then. I don't know. Just let me know. Have a great day, Shawty Baes. I love you so much.